Imagine being at the absolute pinnacle of your sport, leading the championship by a massive margin, seemingly cruising towards glory. Then, everything unravels. That's the dramatic, almost cinematic story of Oscar Piastri's 2025 Formula One season. What exactly went wrong, and why is McLaren's CEO Zak Brown still so incredibly confident in his young star? Before we dive deep into this fascinating turn of events and dissect the analytical perspective, hit that like button if you're a fan of F1's unpredictable drama, subscribe for more analytical breakdowns of the sport, and let us know in the comments below. Do you think Oscar Piastri will ultimately be a future world champion? The 2025 Formula One season began with Oscar Piastri on an absolute charge, looking utterly invincible. The young Australian sensation appeared to have complete control over the championship standings, painting a picture of a driver destined for glory. By the mid-year break, Piastri had amassed a staggering 104-point lead over none other than Max Verstappen, an advantage that, at the time, felt almost insurmountable. His dominance wasn't fleeting. Even after the summer, following a strong showing at the Dutch Grand Prix, he still held a comfortable 34-point cushion over his McLaren teammate, Lando Norris. He was without a doubt the man to beat, the heir apparent, and the entire F1 world was buzzing with anticipation for his maiden title. But then, with a stunning swiftness, the tide began to turn. The second half of Piastri's season became an unexpected crucible, a relentless test of nerve and skill. What started as minor setbacks escalated into a series of unfortunate events on track. Uncharacteristic crashes and errors began to creep into his performances, systematically eroding that once massive points advantage. The relentless pressure of a championship fight, coupled with these unforced errors, saw his lead diminish race after race. The once dominant driver found himself battling not just competitors, but his own momentum and the growing shadow of his teammate. By the time the circus arrived in Abu Dhabi for the season finale, the unthinkable had happened. Oscar Piastri, who had led for an impressive 15 races and secured victories on 7 Grand Prix weekends, finished a distant third in the Drivers' Championship, a full 13 points behind Lando Norris, who celebrated his first-ever world title. It was a brutal, almost cruel end to what had promised to be a triumphant year. Despite this dramatic reversal of fortune, Zak Brown, the ever-optimistic and pragmatic CEO of McLaren, firmly believes that Piastri's season, though ending in disappointment, doesn't warrant a rebuilding phase. Brown, in fact, was quick to defend his driver, expressing unwavering confidence that Piastri will be a future world champion. This isn't just blind faith. Brown highlights the overall strength and combined performance of the McLaren pairing, stating unequivocally, "Our two drivers won 7 races, drove brilliantly, and supported each other." This statement speaks volumes about the team's internal view of Piastri's raw talent and immense potential, even when facing the steepest of adversities. Brown candidly acknowledged the often harsh realities of top-tier motorsport. He observed, "It's a cruel sport. Sometimes the things work out, sometimes they don't. It is out of your control." Yet, his focus remained squarely on the future, brimming with positivity. He expressed genuine excitement about competing with both Piastri and Norris again next year, seeing their combined strength as a major, formidable asset for the team. He emphasized that Piastri should be immensely proud of his achievements throughout the year, leading the championship for an impressive 15 races and securing those 7 crucial victories on different weekends. These are not the statistics of a driver who needs to regroup or rebuild, but rather of one who experienced a tough yet invaluable learning curve at the very sharp end of the grid. McLaren's philosophy of letting their drivers race also played a significant, if sometimes challenging, role. Brown made it clear, "We learned a lot this year, but in terms of letting our drivers race, we let them race until the end," including Oscar's outside pass on Norris on the first lap in Abu Dhabi. This unwavering commitment to allowing fair, aggressive competition is a cornerstone of their team dynamic, and it undoubtedly adds to the intensity. Brown affirmed that this approach will absolutely continue in the future, but he also stressed the continuous pursuit of excellence. "So we will certainly continue with that, but I think as we do every weekend, we learn and improve." For Piastri, this means an environment that fosters growth, aggressive racing, and ultimately championship-winning performances, all crucial ingredients for a future champion. The burning question now isn't if Piastri can win, but rather when he'll put all the pieces together again and achieve that ultimate goal. What are your predictions for Oscar Piastri in 2026? Let us know.